What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and we are back. Yes, once again for what? Another Tuesday Night Live. And guys, I tell you what, we got a couple cool products. Got an exclusive to tell you about coming up, so you guys can get ready, mark your calendars. We've got some fun things happening. We got some giveaways to announce. But guys, right now, see the bottom of the screen right here. Discount code AJWKK, CastKing.com. Some of the products I'm going to show you guys, they'll be available on Amazon, but they're available right now on CastKing.com, so you can jump in there, use that 10% discount code AJWKK. If you're a KBA and you have your own code, throw that out there. Just can't do it in my live. There's rules against that, but get on your own platform, post out your guys' favorite discount code, whether it's your friend, whatever. Get it done, guys. So it's not a big deal to me whose code you use, but I got to follow the rules and keep my code on my page. So guys, do the same. Always make sure you keep your code in your world and don't overstep on somebody else, and we're good to go. But guys, use a discount code, whether it's mine, your favorite person, save that money, get that product, get hooked up, and we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes on some of these new products to show you. We're going to get all blazed up, guys, with the Liesel Blaze, and I'll tell you about it in just a second. But first, let's go to the comment section and see who we got pop-a-lopping off in here. And if you guys are joining us from Facebook, please do me and everybody else and CastKing a service and share. YouTube, you can share to a certain degree. You can even take and copy and paste this YouTube link and paste it to your Facebook, paste it to your other social media things and get more clicks that way. But Facebookers, please do me a favor, put this in your favorite groups, share it to your page, get it out there. The more reach we can hit, the more chances myself, Nikki, Hunter, when he goes live on TikTok and different things, Nikki on YouTube, any kind of more reach we can get, the more often and the more we can get out there, the more generous we're going to be in our giveaways over time. Why? Because we're actually reaching people and getting that build up there and getting those results that we're looking for numbers wise. So guys, who do we got in the comment section? Of course, you know Gary's popping off like he always does. First one in the gate. Gary jumping out there. What's going on, Gary? Glad to see you. Who else we got? Robert Green in the house. What's up, man? And then, of course, Bob. Bob, hello. How are you? We got 513 Diggs. We got Juan Pedroza. What's happening, bro? Bob says, open, like the old Mervin's commercials right there. I love it. It kind of cracks me up. Let's see. Who else we got in here? We got Brandon Johnson. Glad to have you. It is go time. Steve Yeckel, already fishing. Is already out there fishing right now. Doug, glad to see you, bro. How's skateboarding world treating you? Hope it's treating you well. Juan Pedro says, pick me already. Rashawn Hunt, what's up, dude? The Frog King himself right there, dude. We need to see a standoff between Rashawn versus old Cliff Crochet. See if Cajun Baby can hold his own. Chris McVeigh, glad to see you, man. Glad that you took the time out of your busy fish slaying schedule. And I don't mean that in any derogatory way. Those are true facts about Chris McVeigh. This dude is a stick. He is a fish slayer. He's always out there just getting them. Don't believe me? Check out his Facebook or YouTube page, dude. Dude's always on it. So what else we got? I think it's mainly a Facebook page. I don't know if you have a YouTube. Maybe you do, Chris. I haven't paid attention. Okay, what's going on? Are they sensitive and resistant to salt? Well, we'll take a look. Stay tuned. Christopher Sproles, what's happening? Who else we got? Adam Robinson, glad to see you. How's the hip treating you? Hope it's doing well. Rashawn says MGTI, nice frog, real and very versatile. So he's out there using that thing. I still haven't gotten out and used mine. I went mountain biking this weekend, guys, and you know what? I know I love fishing. I mean, you look at the whole. This is my whole world right here: mountain bikes and fishing. Well, this weekend was mountain biking. We've got a stupid crazy drought going on in Arizona. San Carlos Lake was one of my favorite lakes to fish earlier this year. There are no boat ramps in the water. It's a mud hole right now. It is a very unfriendly place to be for fishing right now. So I'm not fishing that. All my other like ponds and things I like to fish, they're dried up and all those fish have died, which is horrible. My primary lake, Roosevelt Lake, that I fish the most is super low. I think they've closed off 3 boat ramps already so far. So yeah, and there's a huge wildfire burning right next to it. So not sure how that's going to pan out. So I don't know. Plus, it's been really hot around here. So we'll see. Hopefully, they keep saying that our monsoons are supposed to be kicking off and doing good here in Arizona, and we just haven't seen it. Haven't got any rain. Story of our lives. It sounds like a broken drum every year, but something's got to change, dude. Like, this is one of the worst droughts I've seen in a while. All of our reservoirs are really getting low as can be. But anyways, back onto it. I got to get out there fishing. But until then, mountain biking, baby, and I don't regret it because I had a blast this past Sunday. But anyways, back at it. Christopher Sproles, I'm good. Thanks for asking, man. Doing really good. Milton, hello, sir. Glad to have you in the house. And he says hello to the family. Joe Cool, what's going on? Steve Yeckel, been off for a while. Glad to be back. Glad to see you. Jesse Pocock, how's it going, man? Blah, 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 blah. We got Colby. How's it going? We got Diane Yeckel. Hello. Troy, glad to see you. All right, guys. Let's get to going on it. Lucas Blanchard, howdy from Texas. I'm a mountain biker. Hey, nice, Lucas. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And also, fun fact, here pretty soon in coming weeks, really, because a couple weeks away, the grand opening for CastKing's home office in Texas will be happening soon. I want to tell you the date. I don't know if I can yet. I know the date, but I'm going to wait just in case till it's completely official to be able to tell you. But yes, guys, let me just put it this way. Grand opening in the fall is what the projection is, okay? That's going to be the grand opening of our warehouse in Texas and our home office in Texas. So stay tuned. And I'm going to have some good stuff there. All right. So Justin Taylor says, hey, so what's this Lethal Blaze? Justin, I'm glad you asked, brother. Let me go ahead and show you what this Lethal Blaze is. So check it out, guys. We're going to get all blazed up. If you guys are at home, go ahead and do your blazing, however you want to take that. That's on you, not me. I'm just saying. But anyways, the Lethal Blaze, that's how we're blazing it up over here at CastKing. We've got the new Lethal Blaze twin tip. Now, before we get into the specs of the Lethal Blaze, I want to touch on those twin tips real quick. That came out wrong. Let's leave it at that. Anyways, about the twin tips that you get with the Lethal Blaze spinning combo. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a bait caster combo, but not yet. It's going to be an exclusive where and when it's going to be sold. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yes, a bait casting version will be coming shortly, like right around the corner, like literally probably less than 2 weeks. And it will be an exclusive where to get it. I'll tell you that in a few. But anyhow, so yeah, Troy saying, blaze it up, boys, blaze it up with the Lethal Blaze. You know I got you, bro. You know we do with the Lethal Blaze. But anyways, so this twin tip system, guys, the cool thing about the twin tip system is you get two tips, right? And with that, it's basically an insurance policy. And you know, I never really was like, when it first came out, oh, that's cool. That's kind of a novel idea. Nobody else is really doing that and blah, blah, blah. And then just a while back, guys, I actually accidentally broke one of the tips, right? So on one of my combos, that was a twin tip combo. Kind of irritated me and I was butthurt because I don't really break tips on rods. You know, I'm kind of in this business, you know, I broke rods before my whole life. You know, it happens here and there. But I've learned a lot being on the engineering side of watching how these things, I'm not an engineer, but learning how they're engineered, how they're constructed, how they're built, how their actions work and things of that nature. Getting that inside scoop a little more, I've learned that usually when a rod breaks, it's a victim. Usually. It's been victimized in some way or was a victim at that time, and that's where the break comes from. In this case, more than likely my rod still was a victim, but I broke the end of the rod, right? And I was just like, oh my God, it just made me mad because I've gotten, you know, I mean, I almost never break anything anymore. But then I remembered, hey, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I got another tip for this thing at home. And of course, when I got home and double checked, and I've got a million rods, as you guys can imagine, working for this company for 12 years, I've collected quite a collection. And sure, lo and behold, I had an extra tip for it. Didn't have to call customer service, didn't have to reach out, didn't have to buy another rod. I just took the broken end off, popped the brand new end on, and guess what, guys? I'm back in action. So with this at no extra charge, I mean, look at the price range that we're talking about. $69.99 for the Lethal Blaze combo. Comes with an extra tip. It's that extra insurance policy because 99% of your brakes are going to be at the upper end of the rod. And dude, it's just a sweet, cool idea. I think it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Right here, I mean, yeah, my Spartacus 2 came with 2, and I already broke one, so glad it came with 2. Yeah, I mean, things happen. Things happen so much in this world. It's crazy how things happen. And like I said, usually when a rod breaks, it's taken some sort of an impact. You high-sticked it. You did something. And what's crazy is there's times where I've gone back and I've reviewed footage of me fishing, boat flipping, doing different things. And I maybe I didn't break a rod at that time, but I go back and watch the video and I look and I go, dude, I had it coming. I should have broke that rod. That rod should have exploded. And you see certain things that you do when you're watching video, you go, that was dumb. That's how rods get broken. And I've caught myself doing it. And I can almost promise you a big portion of us out there do that without even realizing, because in the heat of a moment, catching a big fish, the different things that you do and the way you act, you're not paying attention. You're paying attention to the action that's happening in front of you. And sometimes that leaves damaging effects on the rod. So that twin tip system, kudos, dude. And of course, using that special engineered spigot joint that CastKing uses, where that two-piece rod comes together, these rods feel like your favorite one-piece rod. I'm telling you, they work great. They're awesome. You're going to love it. So let's get into the nitty-gritties of the Lethal Blaze. Obviously, right out of the gate, we see that we have a kind of a polymer-style grip on this rod. So you've got a rubberized polymer-style grip up front, and then down at the bottom, you have the, on the fighting butt, it's an EVA foam fighting butt. You got that really awesome burnt orange color. My wife actually made a comment. She goes, hey, you should get that rod. And I was like, I probably will. And she goes, it matches your bike. So my Norco, I have a Norco Sight A2 cross-country mountain bike, and it is a burnt orange color, almost identical to this. So, hey, I could just get the Lethal Blaze, throw it in my backpack, and go ride my mountain bike to my favorite watering hole when it has water and do some fishing that way. So I'll have a matching pole on there to match my mountain bike. But anyhow, so we've got that awesome burnt orange cosmetic color. And what you guys can't really see in this photo, it doesn't really do justice. And if you guys are watching on your phone, unfortunately, you can't. It's going to be hard for you guys to see it. Maybe you can see down there on the lettering, it's actually like a flame embossed, you've got this flame imprint in the lower section of the rod down in front of the reel seat and on that fighting butt. So you got some really neat accents. It's a little bit of flamage going on with the Lethal Blaze, just blazing it up on the Lethal Blaze. So we've got that graphite reel seat, EVA front on the front of that reel seat. You got that polymer style grip right there at the handle. Of course, that blank is wide open, so you're still getting your hand contacting that blank, so you can feel all those little nicks, those tings, those little sensations of when a fish is striking, a fish is nibbling, sucking at that bait, just pulling it in its mouth and spitting it out and checking it out. You're going to feel all those little sensations with contact on that blank, and that's very important. I always look for that when I'm buying a rod. And then, of course, you transition down. You have a lower. On the lower end of the rod, just behind the handle, you've got a drop shot style hook holder. And then, of course, all the way at the bottom of the butt, you've got that EVA fighting butt. Now, let's get into drag. 17.6 pounds of ultra smooth drag. This thing's going to do really well for you. It's going to be a great system, whether you guys are going to use it for finesse fishing. And when I say finesse, I don't necessarily mean that this rod is going to be primarily perfect for you guys to get out there and do finesse techniques, kind of like a bait finesse. Now, they do sell this in a medium light, no ultralight. So I wouldn't kind of compare this as an ultralight style system. But when I say doing some finesse techniques, I'm talking like maybe throwing weightless Senkos and kind of popping that, weightless flukes, drop shot, of course, Ned rig, things like that. This is going to be a good combo for that at a super low price for rod and reel. Okay, so you've got that 17.6 pounds of drag, and then, of course, a great bearing system to pack this up. Now, for all you bearing counters out there, I know a lot of times when you pack a reel full of bearings, everybody believes that that is the magic number. Not necessarily. You don't need a ton of bearings. Bearings are always nice. Don't get me wrong, because I will toot the horn when things are full of bearings. But you don't exactly have to have a reel loaded with bearings if your engineering is in the right spot. And this is just one of those reels for that. So you have a 5+1 Maxi Dur double shielded stainless steel ball bearing. What does that mean? Yes, to answer that question that we had earlier in the show, is this thing going to be compatible and saltwater friendly? It is. But just like any reel on the market, any reel out there, any rod out there, salt and things like that, the saltwater, those kind of conditions will definitely take its toll on, even if the product is totally approved for saltwater, take care of it. I mean, the elements will always win over time. So maintenance will be key. Rinse it out, flush it, you'll be fine. Things will work out great. But those 5+1 double shielded stainless steel Maxi Dur ball bearings are going to work fantastic for you. So another great feature to really pay attention to and look at on this system is your actual drivetrain, okay? So you're going to have a great system with the zinc alloy main gears, and of course that brass pinion gear on the rotation is going to really help you drive that power to the ground and get those fish in the boat. Now, I talked about that spigot joint, which we also call our PTS system, or power transition system, delivers that one piece action and sensation throughout the full parabolic bend of the rod. Now, another note, I've mentioned this 100 times, but maybe you guys are new to the show. Maybe this is the first time you're joining in, or you've missed this. A lot of our rods are built this way. You see in this photo where it's circled, and you see that you can almost see the color of the graphite carbon right there. That is a true blank. Now, if you were to put that resin, that clear coat or that resin over top where you join those two spigot joints together, that will actually kill the sensation and the rod action, right? So that's why we leave that blank. Now, people also believe that you have to make those two butts meet. Those two orange kind of larger ends have to come together. That's not true. They have to just come down to where you feel them get snug and then leave it alone. They do not have to contact each other. You don't have to sandwich it. If you force it, you can break it. The nice thing is, in recent time lately, we have actually been putting decals and little like tags hanging off the rod warning you of to not do so. Do not do that. But my point, guys, this is a great system right here. The spigot joint system in this two-piece rod. And guys, I'm telling you, a lot of people stick up their nose for a two-piece rod. I love a two-piece rod in its own right. I love a one-piece. Some of my favorite rods are one-piece, but I have come to adore my two-piece rods, and this is just one of those cases. Just like case in fact, I mentioned mountain biking and matched mountain bike. I literally could go mountain biking, put this thing in my backpack, and go to a lot of other places. I always have a two-piece rod in my camp trailer. I've got a two-piece rod in my truck for when I just see a body of water I want to check out. And then, of course, I've got two-piece rods in my bass boat, which I have rod lockers that I don't. I've got the Virus. I keep the Virus, even my Centron Light that I've kind of pimped out with some of the spool speed bearings and things like that. I keep that rod in my boat, and I have a saw gaze right next to it. So yeah, I've come to love my two-piece rods very much, and it all comes down to the PTS, or power transition system, that this rod itself also utilizes. I'd mentioned that drop shot style hook holder just below the handle. Of course, it's loaded with that. And then, of course, we talked about the gears. Now, here's another thing, okay? So we have an unrivaled strength and sensitivity, as we talked about, like it says in that, coming in with the IM6 blank. Now, if you guys watch my show and you know this, then you know that all of your good action rods, your good quality rods, start at about an IM6. So that's where CastKing really likes to create our benchmark, is at an IM6 and up. So when you get into an IM6 rod, no matter what brand you're looking at, whether you go to Wally World, you go to Sportsman's, you go to Academy, you go to BPS, wherever you may go, and you see an IM6 rod or higher, like 7, 8, 9, just know you've got a great rod right there, no matter what the number is. The higher the number, the more brittle the rod is, the more chances of you guys breaking that rod easier. So remember how I spoke in the beginning of the program that a lot of times when a rod breaks, it's because it's the victim in some way. Something has happened to create a failure or a weak point in that rod. And it's basically a victim of a lot of times just things that happen. In an IM7, IM8, especially IM8s and 9s, they get super brittle. Now your sensitivity is stupid high. It's just really elevated. You've got some incredibly high sensitivity on this, but your durability and your chance for breakages also elevate as well. So starting at an IM6, top quality, and goes up from there. So when you get into that IM6, you're really starting to get into a really good quality rod and reel. Now, going into these guys, okay? So with that saltwater system that the gentleman had asked earlier, is this going to be saltwater friendly? Absolutely. So we're talking about tangle-free stainless steel guides again. So we're not going to have that saltwater. That stainless is going to resist a lot of those elements, a lot of the chemicals and things out there. That stainless steel is going to do really well with the titanium oxide ceramic rings. This is going to be great for all your nylon, plastic style lines out there, or monofilaments, fluoros, things like that, tripolymers. But it's also going to be very capable with braid. It's going to be a great selection for braid, okay? So that's another thing. Let's look at actions or length of rods. So in this combo, because this is sold as a combo, and like I said before, we are going to be putting out a bait casting version of this, and it will come out exclusively on another platform, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. It'll be an exclusive purchase from that platform. So we have it in 2000s and 3000 sizes. Gear ratios will be coming at 5:2 to 1, and your lengths are 6'2 all the way up to 7'4, from a medium light to a fast action, medium fast, and then of course medium and medium heavy, all of them rocking some form of a fast action. 7+1 guides. You have that two extra tips, and this is just a fantastic platform to be using. So guys, long story short, guys, this is going to be a very capable rod and reel system. It's a great combo. You're going to have to get all blazed up with your lethal blaze, guys. And dude, $69 for this combo, and it's friggin' easy on the eyes. It's a gorgeous system. Let me pull up that picture of it again. I mean, guys, look at that, dude. The lethal blaze. This is beautiful. It's an eye catcher, and yes, wait till you guys see that bait caster. If you guys are following Jose Senko, you already have seen Jose posting pictures of the media he's been creating with the lethal blaze bait caster, and like I said, it will be coming out shortly on another platform to purchase. What platform, you say? Amazon? No. Is it CastKing.com? No. It will be a TikTok shop at the CastKing shop on TikTok, exclusive. When? September 1st, guys. That's the slotted day for that to be available on the baitcaster. But if you guys are a spinning reel connoisseur and you got to get yourself a spinning reel, you love this combo, you can't live with it, or you're like, hey, I'm going to get both. I'm going to get the lethal blaze off the website. 15% off right now. Plus, use your favorite discount code, whether it's mine, AJWKK, or your favorite guide, Pro, or KBA. Use their code, whatever you want to do. I, of course, have no problem with using AJWKK. You guys are going to save a couple bucks there. So 15% off, coming in at $69.95, brand new release. Get it while the getting is good. And with the color of this rod, and when it hits Amazon and also starts to be sold in the TikTok shop, inventory on this rod and reel combo will fly off the shelves because that color is straight fire. Hence the name, the Lethal Blaze. So guys, check that out. You're going to love it. But remember, if you guys are just now tuning in to the broadcast, I've got a giveaway. I've got names ready to go. I've got the coin for the coin toss ready to go. I'm giving away 2 Sharky 3 reels, okay? Sharky 3 spinning reels. And we'll get into that in just a minute. Maybe I'll call your name. Maybe I won't. You guys keep an eye out. We're going to be getting into that ready to go. I've got the banners built. I've got the names right here on my paper. So you guys will be able to see we are ready to go pick it random. But before that, I've got one more product to teach you guys about and share with you guys before we move on. And then I'm going to hook up the people. So what is this said product? Well, let's take a look. Let's share it again. So here's the new product I want to show you guys. We talked about the Lethal Blaze, but now we have the Sharky 3 Longcast, okay? So the Sharky 3 Longcast is a really cool option right here. Now, here's the easiest way for me to describe this reel to you. Think of the Mega Jaws, okay? Not the Mega Jaws Elite, but the Mega Jaws. So this is a very, very, very close product to the Mega Jaws, except for a couple differences, right? And let's get into that. What is it loaded with? We'll talk about what it has, the features it has, and then I'll tell you about where it's different, okay? So you have your low friction taper line guide, or the LFT, which you call a low friction tapered vortex. So what it is, it's just a funnel. Instead of having just a hole that a line guide that your line flies through this, it's tapered like a funnel. So as that line's coming off the spool, it hits into that funnel, narrows down, and causes a smoother transition out the guide, which means less friction. As you can see from the photo next to me, it's just going to help direct that line smoother, easier, which is going to make for longer casts. And we like that, especially when the name says Sharky 3 Longcast. It's nice. It's going to help get longer casts, as well as more accurate casts. So that's another great feature, which you also see in the Mega Jaws. Another great feature you see in the Mega Jaws, as well as shared in the Sharky 3, is the Auto Mag Dual Braking System. And if you guys have used any reels that are packed in this Auto Mag Dual Braking System, this is a fantastic hybrid magnetic braking system that also works fairly similar to centrifugal brakes, as it has a centrifugal acted magnetic system that keeps a full spectrum of magnetic braking power that auto adjusts internally, and then you have fine tuning adjustments on the outside. Such a great feature. Love that system. it flat works. That auto mag 2 braking system is tried and true. We've had it for a couple years now, and it works well. Works really well. 13.2 pounds of carbon fiber drag. Little bit light on the drag compared to some of the other reels we see in the CastKing family, but 13 pounds of drag, don't let that fool you. We always over drag sometimes on our drag system. So with this triple disc carbon fiber drag coming in at 13.2, we're every bit as competitive as the competitor out there because they usually get anywhere between 12 and 14 pounds. We're hitting right there. Of course, CastKing usually is hitting that 17 mark. This one is coming in at 13. Still such a great system. And if you're the kind of person that likes to lock your drag down, great. Or if you let it run, it will still get the job done for you. 7:2-1 benchmark gear ratio. If you guys kind of pay attention to the industry now, you're going to see that 7:2-1 gear ratio. It's kind of that's kind of like the benchmark these days. It went from like a 5:2-1, then a 6:6-1, and now it's that 7:2 to 7:4-1. That 7-speed gear ratio is kind of where everybody in the industry is kind of building all their reels too. Yeah, you still have your 10.5-1s like we have, your 9.1-1s, and they have their places. They absolutely do. But for just a great all-around reel, that 7-speed is kind of the industry standard. What else kind of features do we have that we talk about? Lightweight. It is a graphite nylon frame coming in at 6.3 ounces. It's just a great system to have. It's got that ergonomical feel to it, very nimble in your hand. But here's the kicker. Why the name Sharky 3 Longcast? What makes it a Longcast? A lot of people will look at this reel and think, okay, I should be able to cast a mile with this reel. Yeah, that is partly the reason for the name is this thing does cast pretty well, cast very well, right? But here's where it really creates a difference. Now, this reel is really engineered for those people that are fishing from the bank. Now, don't get me wrong, this reel will do good from a boat. This reel will do good from a kayak, and it will treat you very well. But this is kind of for those pond hoppers, those lake kind of people. This is where this is really going to cater to, and that's where that long cast comes in. So if you're not in a boat, you're not in a kayak, and you're not in a way to where you can cover a lot of water and go to different places out in the water, how do you accommodate to get your bait in front of fish more? By casting longer, getting out there farther. Well, you need that spool, a deep spool, whether you're using heavy line, light line, whatever it may be. It's always nicer to have a longer, deeper spool. And the Sharky 3 actually has, the Longcast has a deeper spool. So you could actually pack more line on this reel. And if you're throwing big, heavy baits and you're great and you're light on your adjustments, and you can actually get that performance where you're like Brent Chapman brakes and his brakes are all the way back and his tension knob is really light. He does all of his adjustments by his thumb. So if you're that kind of an angler with this deeper spool that the Longcast has, you're going to be able to seriously get those lures out there. And then, of course, as you see on the screen with that double supported pinion gear, that's going to help in retrieval as well in casting to let that spool free spin and get that bait out there. But that's where it really comes in handy, coming in with that, what we call the Sharky 3 Longcast is you have the ability, when you set the reel correctly to the lure weight and rod action, and all the elements that are out there, this reel is capable of casting long, especially if you are capable of doing it. And you have the spool that you can pack more line onto. So you have all the great things you need to make this Sharky 3 Longcast baitcaster fit your profile of what you're trying to do in getting that distance out there and covering more water. And with a price point coming in at $59.99, how can you guys go wrong? I mean, that is seriously a great price. Spend $10 more, you can get the Lethal Blaze spinning. Or if you're looking for a baitcaster, Sharky 3 Longcast just might be what you guys are after, guys. So definitely check that out. Great product to have. Let's jump over to the comment section and see what's going on in the world. Oh, Lenny the legend's in the house going hip, 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 hip. What's going on, Lenny? Which if he's saying hip, hip, that tells me that Brandon's got to be in the house too. We got Vox Guitars. Patrick Feely, glad to have you in the house. Stephen Beaver, what's going on? Love my CastKing reels. I have 23. Nice, bro. Putting a hurting on some people out there. Just got the Icon spinning reel. So far, my favorite. Love that reel. Icon baitcaster, just as good, if not better. I mean, I adore that reel. I call it the mini Bassinator right there for a budget when the Bassinator was around. Melissa Justice, glad to have you in the house. Who else we got? Monspike D. You guys should come up with a sick and different colors like transparent carbon fiber. Maybe. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But we do got some sick colors coming. Stay tuned. Sick colors coming. And the Lethal Blaze is one of those. All right. Hey, AJ. Hey, everybody on Facebook. Jennifer Liebman. Glad to have you in the house. Thank you for joining. Always here. Always a trooper. Glad to see you. All right. So, AJ, another reel that does long casts of the Capstan 300. Yeah, you know what? I don't use the Capstan 300 hardly at all anymore, and I've had it for years. God, I don't even know how long I've had that. We've had that reel. I think that reel came out in 2018 or 2019, and I've got a couple of them, and I just don't use it like I should. But that is one of my big swim bait reels. I have one for throwing big swim baits, which I don't do like I should. I need to be more glide baits is what I've got that one set up for. And then I also have it on a very rare rod, the Royal Legend, the original Royal Legend, and a heavy punch. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab it. It's right over here. I'll limp over to it, guys. Bear with me. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I know it is. Oh, right here. I have not messed with this combo in forever. But yeah, this rod, I think we only did one run of these. And I don't even know why. I just feel like I got to talk about it. But check this out. There it is right there. There's even dust on the handles. Look at that. There's dust on this thing. Doesn't even get used. But yeah, this was a punching setup. I think I've got like 65 to close to 80-pound braid. Very light. I went light on this one, but I usually have about a 1 ounce to ounce and a half tungsten on here. I think the last time I used this was either Takalai, Lake Nunya to some people, or it was on Hidden Lake down in like the other side of Phoenix. So, but yeah, this was an extra heavy Royal Legend. Brian Box is in our comment section right here. Brian, you ever seen one of these? This is a very rare rod right here. Very short run on these. This is an extra heavy power Royal Legend OG original with a full handle on the on there. So this is a rare one. I won't get rid of this one. I keep that one. So because I've never seen another one. Not at any show that I've ever worked, not in our inventory. It was super rare. But yeah, that's what I've got. One of my Capstan 300s that do good. But anyways, all right, guys, we're getting to that point in the show. Oh, there is Brandon. Yep. Brandon Garcia in the house. What's up? All right. So now, guys, bring back the full grips. Joe Cool. Now, there are some rods that have them. There are some rods that do have them. Depends. I mean, what's funny is one thing I've learned is you can never make anybody happy. Like you say, bring back the full grips. I like the full grips, but I prefer a split handle. So did I win? Not yet, Brandon. Not yet. But yeah, and then of course some people like a hook holder up above the reel seat. Some people like a hook holder below it. Some people don't even want it. Like it's crazy. So we try. Brian has not ever seen that rod before. Brian's been around and he works for the company. And legit dude, and he gets to see all kinds of stuff. And that's a rare one. That one's old. That one's probably 10 years old. That rod right there. That was one of our. I think that I got that one right when the Royal Legends first came out. But yeah. Anyhow, and here it is. I haven't used it in a while, but I did use it that was my main punching stick until 2019 when the Speed Demon Pros came out, and I actually bought a punching rod, and then I bought a Spirali. Extra heavy, and then of course same thing with the Asages. But yeah, moving on. All right, guys, let's get some names out here. Let's give some stuff away. What do you guys think? Full grips, balance, longer rods are better for me. Well, to each their own. Everybody has their preference. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is let's do YouTube first, guys. So let's see. Here are my contestants for the coin toss on what we got going on. What are we giving away? Well, guys, last week we were talking about the Sharky 3, not the Sharky 3 Longcast. We're talking about the People's Champ, and we were talking about it last week, the tried and true Sharky 3. Now, Brian, he was a former guide in Florida. He did saltwater guided tours, and he basically got rid of a lot of his PE and ends and Acomas. Not to throw any other real companies under the bus, but yeah, there was a lot of other brands that Brian used to use, and he has showed us firsthand. I remember working shows with Brian. I think it was like 2020 and 2018, maybe 2021. I don't remember. We've worked a couple shows together where he brought some reels that were on his boat and customers used, And he would rinse them off, and that's about the most he would do to them. Every now and then lube them up, if even that. But he just rinsed the salt water out of them, and they were just flat outperforming in the salt all these other brands that were twice to 2-3 times their expense, and they were just sun faded and just ugly from just torture, but they flat still worked. True story. He still has those reels. He was telling me a while back too, a story. We actually got to talking about it on the phone the other day, and I mentioned it, and he started saying, dude, he goes, I still got those Sharky 3s. He goes, I was living, I'm trying to remember, I think a hurricane or something happened, and he had a flood and flooded his whole downstairs and brought in mud and muck and everything. And those reels were submerged for like a week or so underwater in muddy, nasty waters. And all he did really was rinse them out, and those things work buttery smooth. So Captain Brian, this is the gentleman I'm talking about. If you guys want to hear some serious, tried and true, this is just real world experiences, dude. It's just, Brandon, I'm telling you, these Sharky 3s is a solid beluga whale setup. So you need a Sharky 3s spinning for that beluga whale. But no, Brian can tell you the Sharky 3 is the reason why we call it the People's Champ. Super affordable, works. It is probably one of the greatest reels we've ever built in a spinning system. You'll adore it. So what are we going to do? We're going to give 2 away, 1 to YouTube viewers and 1 to Facebook viewers. And as you guys can see down there in the ticker below, we already have some contestants. We've got Big Peppo is in the house versus I'm Your Huckleberry, 33417. So are they watching? I'm looking to see. Now, you guys will have 30 days to contact me, whoever wins this out of the coin toss. If you're watching, let me know. If not, Brandon Garcia will pick heads or tails for Big Peppo. He already says tails. I didn't even get it out. I didn't even get to finish. I can't even click his name up there. So unless Big Peppo or I'm Your Huckleberry makes himself known in the comment section, Brandon Garcia is going to pick tails for Big Peppo. So let's see. Are they here? Oh, Big Peppo's here. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so Big Peppo, sorry, Brandon, you don't get to pick. Big Peppo, you got picked. So Big Peppo is in the house. Big Peppo, what are we doing, brother? Are we going to do heads or are we going to do tails on the magical coin right here? Are we going to do heads or are we going to do tails on the magical coin here? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, Big Peppo? The people want to know. They want to know. This is for a Sharky 3 spinning reel, guys. Lonnie Brewer. Oh, Lonnie is in the house. What's up, Lonnie? Jesus Christ, Lonnie Brewer and Brandon Garcia. Those two used to be coworkers of mine. Crazy group of guys right there. Freaking hilarious. Glad to have you guys. Guys, thanks for joining my live broadcast. And you know what? You guys are winners already, in my opinion. All right. So, Big Peppo, what are we doing? Heads or tails, Big Peppo? We're waiting on you to choose. Come on, Big Peppo. What do we got? Let's go tails since it seems to not fail. All right. Here we go for the win. If we get tails, Big Peppo wins himself a Sharky 3 spinning reel. And if it's heads, it's going to I'm Your Huckleberry 3417. So here we go. Guys, in the comment section, let me know, what do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be tails? Is Big Peppo going to take it home with tails? Or is I'm Your Huckleberry going to tune in the rebroadcast to see that he won with heads, and he's going to contact me and get himself a Sharky 3 sent out the door via CastKing? So what do you guys think? Heads or tails? So here we go. Put it in the comment section, and we're going for it. Helen saying good luck. Sean saying heads. We're seeing heads from Jerry. Josh is saying tails. And as they say, tails never fails. So let's get to it. There's the coin toss and the flip. All right, guys. What's it going to be? Did Big Peppo win? Or is I'm Your Huckleberry going to take it away? I saw it. I saw what it is. Is he going to win? Brandon Garcia. Lonnie Brewer. Is Big Peppo a winner? The people want to know. The big flippo for Big Peppo. What do we got? Jay Holloway says heads. Melissa Justice says tails. Josh Perez, he's over at home. He's biting his nails. Jennifer Lou's got her eyes peeled. What is it going to be? All right, guys. Here it is. It is heads, guys. Big Peppo, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. You made it to the finals, but you didn't take home the bacon. I hate to say it. So I'm Your Huckleberry 3417 via YouTube. Do me a favor. If you're watching this in the rebroadcast, or if any of you guys know I'm your Huckleberry, send him a message. Let him know he won or her, and have him contact me on Facebook Messenger, a.j.gore, G-O-R-E. I'll be the guy in a straw hat holding up a fish on Facebook. You're going to take a picture of your login screen once you've logged into YouTube, proving you are who you are. And then I'll find out whether you want a Sharky 3 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000, depending on availability. Yes, they are both right hand or left hand because you can switch the handles on the spinning wheel, and we'll get you dialed in. Big Peppo, thank you very much for playing. And I apologize that you did not win. Now, to close it out, we've got to give a Facebook person a chance to win here. So I'm your Huckleberry is the winner of the Sharky 3. So let me write that down. Now, let's switch over to our Facebook viewers, guys. So are you guys ready? If you're watching via Facebook, here we go. This is the showdown right now, and it is going to be between Gail Yarbrough versus Chris Dural. Gail Yarbrough versus Chris Dural. So if they are not in the comment section, I'm going to give Mr. Brandon Garcia another chance to choose, because Brandon's always in my lives for years and years and years making jokes. So I got to at least let him do a coin toss here. So Brandon Garcia, if they don't give themselves out and say, I am here, I will let you pick heads or tails, and you can change it. You can go with heads this time, or you can go with tails this time if they're not here. So let's see what we got. Diane Yeckel says me. So we've got Gail Yarbrough versus Chris Dural. Are they here? Brandon saying hip hip. So let's see. We'll give it a second. All right, guys. What do you guys think? Is it going to be heads for the win this time? Is it going to be tails? My wife is leaving. Everybody tell her goodbye. She's going off to go hallelujah. Praise the Jeezy. Love you, babe. Have a great night. Tell God I said hello. So, all righty. Let's see here. She's got her woman's night at church tonight. So here we go. All right. So I am not seeing Gail Yarbrough or Chris Dural. So let's go ahead and do it. Brandon Garcia, what are we doing? Brandon, are you going to go with heads for Gail, or are you going to go with tails for Gail? What is going to be Gail's winning? Jerry, thank you. Goodbye, wife. Bye, Josh Perez says. All right, what are we doing, Brandon? Heads or tails for Gail Yarbrough for the win? What's it going to be? Oh, Chris is here. Sorry. All right, never mind. Sorry, Brandon. Out the door. You don't get to pick. Chris is here. All right, Chris, you're up, brother man. You get to pick heads or tails. So, Brandon, every time you're right there, heads for the bald man out there. Oh, here we go. And look at this. But this dude's got hair. He's got hair, dude. I'm telling you. Well, until he got shot. But we won't get into that. So, yeah, I shouldn't post it. All right, here we go. All right. So, Chris is here. Chris, what do you got? Chris says he's going heads, brother. Same as what Brandon Garcia picked. So, Brandon, you get to say, all right, guys, for the money. Tails goes to Mrs. Yarbrough for the Sharky 3. Heads goes to Chris Dural. Chris, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right, but here we go, guys. This is for all the marbles or Sharky 3. So as you guys can see, here it is in the flip. Caught it. What's it going to be, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Is Chris walking away with a Sharky 3 spinning reel, or is Gail going to snatch that out of his grasp? Steve Yeckel says 50% heads, 50% tails. I think that is a very good assessment, Steve. You are onto something here, Steve. You are really onto something. Helen's giving out that good luck. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I am not going to look yet. Chris is saying, yeah. All right, Chris, what do we got? Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. Milton Thompson says heads. Helen says heads. Chris says heads. Danny says it's going to be tails. Angel is saying tails. What do we got? We're going to have more. Sean saying heads. Lonnie Brewer, he says, I say split the Sharky 3. Okay, so if Lonnie Brewer is accurate, you're going to get the handle and the spool, and Gail will get the body. That'll be the way it works, but I don't think we're going to do that. Nobody wants it. Jenica Best says heads. So without any more shoulders in the world, we're going to go ahead and see what it is. Here we go for all the marbles. Heads it is right there for the Baldman. So, Chris, brother man, congratulations. You win yourself a Sharky 3. Gail, I apologize if you watch this in the rebroadcast. Thanks for playing. Unfortunately, Mr. Chris took that right out of your grasp before you could get it. So, Sharky 3 coming your way. Congratulations. Now, Chris, do me a favor. If we are not already friends on Facebook, or you're not following me, or I'm not following you, or however it may work out, there's so many people I follow me. I can't keep Offhands, I don't know. But send me a friend request. Hit me up on Instant Messenger through Facebook. It's going to be a.j.gore. So again, that's a.j.gore, G-O-R-E. I'll put it in the, here's how it'll actually come up on Facebook. It will be a lowercase j and then gore. This is how you'll find me right here. Hit me a message on Instant Messenger, and of course, I will verify you are who you are. I'll get your shipping address and figure out what size Sharky 3 spinning reel you will want to be taking home. And please allow 2 to 3 weeks for processing and shipping, and you will receive your very own People's Champ Sharky 3 spinning reel. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Again, tonight we talked about the Lethal Blaze from CastKing, available right now on CastKing.com. Use the discount code AJWKK to save yourself 10%, or your favorite KBA or guide or pro that has a discount code. Use their code. It just saves some money. That's all I want you guys to do, save some money and get hooked up with that Lethal Blaze combo coming in at $69.95. We talked about the Sharky 3 Longcast and the different benefits of it coming in at $59.99. Guys, check that out. Use that discount code, or get yourself a Sharky 3 spinning reel, the People's Champ, and just have fun, guys. That's going to do it for me. The Lethal Blaze Baitcaster coming out in September exclusively to TikTok. You guys are going to need to go over and see your boy Hunter over on TikTok. And then, of course, tomorrow night or later this week, Nikki's going to go live. Check her show out on YouTube. Guys, make sure you're following us. It's CastKing USA on TikTok. Of course, CastKing USA on Instagram, also a secondary channel, CastKing Community. And then if you're watching right here via Facebook or YouTube, you already know it's just straight up CastKing, guys. Give us that like, that subscribe, turn that notification bell on so when we go live and we do coin tosses or giveaways, you guys get hooked up. That's going to do it for me tonight, guys. It's time for me to make some dinner and eat and hang out and enjoy my evening. Guys, thank you very much. You know I love you. You guys are my CastKing familia, and I will see you guys next Tuesday night. Congratulations, Chris, and I'm your Huckleberry. Guys, have a great night. I'm out, and God bless y'all.